Well, welcome back to the Badger Rock Kitchen. We're here for the next in our AAPI Heritage Month virtual workshop series, and we're super excited to be here with Lani, who runs her business in part out of the Badger Rock Kitchen. So, welcome, Lani. And I'd
Hi.
love if you could start off just by introducing yourself and
Sure.
sharing a little bit about your story
Sure.
and your business.
Sure. My name is Lani Brender. My husband, Tim, my sous chef and partner. So we run LT's Aloha Wagon, which we do throughout Madison, surrounding cities. We have just a food cart. We don't have a brick and mortar. And today we are going to make Spam Musubi, which is a very popular item in Hawaii. You can find in any 7-Eleven, any gas station. It is snack food. It is protein and starch, so it's a great energizer. People grab them on their way to the beach, and it's just something that's fun to make. You'll see at lots of parties and potlucks. We make them and almost always sell out when we have them on our food cart, so that's what we're going to make for you today.
Great. And where did you learn to make this recipe?
This actually, so my father is Hawaiian. He is from the big island of Hawaii. He is from Honoka. And so a lot of my recipes are learned from him. He did a lot of cooking in our household growing up. And so a lot of the things that I cook and share are from him. And so this is a little bit of from Dad and just from also learning. I love to cook, so this is what we've kind of morphed into the second part of our careers and lives. I have been a hairdresser for a very long time, but I really love to cook and to share my food with people, so this is where we are today.
And their food is so good, y'all.
Thank you. Yes, I do like to share since we do work out of the kitchen downstairs. We do share as much as we can. I hate to have any food go to waste, so I'm always sharing so that we don't have any waste and get everybody excited about having something good to eat.
Yeah, and Lani and Tim have also shared some of their soups with our food pantry and things like that. And true Badger Rock style, we're a community here, so we all share together.
Yes.
Great. Well, we're so excited to check this out. So what's our first step?
Our first step is to measure and rinse the rice. So we'll head on over. I have 3 cups of rice in this pan or in the strainer, and we're going to rinse it 3 times. So you want to get the water so that it's not cloudy anymore, and it takes a lot of the extra stickiness off of it by doing the rinsing. And yes, I did wash my hands before I started this. So you can see how cloudy it is that first go around.
And what kind of rice is this one?
This is sushi rice. So this is a short grain rice so that it will stick together better. I've used several different brands. Most of the time it depends on which one is available at the store. Supply issues are still a thing, and so we just go with what we have. But it is important to use the short grain rice because a regular long grain rice is not going to hold together. And once you start to eat it, I mean, you would never get it to even stick together to be able to even form the musubi for you.
And where do you get your rice?
I get it at Woodman's, Costco, Woodman's typically. I did pick some up at Walmart because Woodman's was out of the brand that I normally use, and Walmart's just right up the road from us. So you can see how this water is just becoming a little more clear. We're not going to get perfectly clear water, but it's not nearly as cloudy as it was the first rinse, so that it just shows you that you're getting a lot of those extra starches off. Too much starch will make it be too sticky and will also cause it to burn a little bit on the bottom of the pan.
So Lani and Tim live right in the neighborhood too. That's a great partnership. What are some of the other things that you make, Lani, in the kitchen for your business?
We make our Huli Huli chicken tacos, and Kahlua pork sliders. I make a sweet and sour ribs. That is definitely my dad's recipe, so we call it Papa Joe's sweet and sour ribs. We make Korean sticky wings, char siu pork. I mean, there's so many different things that we have to offer. And when I do caterings, sometimes I've had people who are from the islands, or they have family from there and they're missing a certain food. So if I've not done it before on our cart, I definitely can figure out how to do it. And so I have actually added items to our cart from other caterings that we've done that people have asked if I could do something, and it went over well. So then we continued to do it. So when it comes to measuring the rice, a lot of people will use, cup of rice, cup of water, but Hawaiian style, we use this first knuckle. So I'm going to put my finger in there and just touching the top of the rice and making sure that the water comes up to my first knuckle. Not quite, so we're going to put just a smidge more in there.
That's a great trick.
So then it is right at that spot. Now, when my dad taught me that, I'm going, but what if everybody's pot is a different, or everyone's, knuckle is a different, but it doesn't matter really on the size of the pot. And pretty much, unless you have a usually long or short first joint, it's going to be a very good indicator, and almost every single time it's right spot on. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. I use a rice cooker. You can also cook it on the stove, but this is much easier when I've got other things to go on. So we just set it and let it cook. And then Tim is going to go ahead and cook our Spam for us. So he pan fries that, and then we put it in a bowl with a little bit of our teriyaki seasoning, and then that's on hold until we assemble. Great. So the Spam, I know, is never very appealing canned meat. Looks like this, but Spam is delicious once you fry it. So frying is a necessary, frying or cooking of some sort. Whoops, sorry. But we always fry it. So this is actually a cutter that's going to help us get an even 9 slices, which makes a batch for us, and then a spare for the cook. He always gets something to nibble on. Is going to start frying up this delicious Spam for us. We do have some oil going. And Spam has gotten kind of a bad rap, thinking of it being just like scraps of meat, which it is not. Spam is actually just pork shoulder, a little salt, a little binder, little sugar, and it is actually cooked in the can. And Spam is, the Spam Museum is in Minnesota, and it all came out of Minnesota. But it is huge in the islands of Hawaii. They even just finished up a Spam festival where practically any food that you can think of, they can make out of Spam. And so it goes on for a couple of days, a long weekend in Oahu, in Honolulu, and it's crazy. And we want to go one of these years. It's always the same last weekend, but Spam is not as bad as people think. And I kind of made it my mission when we first started our food cart 6 years ago to introduce Musubi and Spam to Madison. And we would make batches, and maybe we'd sell 1 or 2, or we would have people who would come to our cart say, oh, we were just on the islands and now we know what this tastes like, and now we're so excited to be able to get something like that here in town. And it has now become, we always sell out of it. We make a double batch. We were just, where were we? Where we made a Delta, where we made a triple batch, which is hard for us because our food cart we only have so much space. So we knew that we would completely sell out at this last event that we had. So we had a bigger cooker so we could make a triple batch, and we sold every single one of those. And we still have people come and are disappointed when we're sold out. So we have told people that you can get a hold of me either through Facebook, Instagram, text me. And if you know that you want, several musubi, we can special make a batch if you want that many of them. We also just encourage you to get to our cart as soon as we open somewhere so that we don't run out. So we've had both. We've had people come and buy pretty much half of what we have as our first or second customer. And while it's good to sell out of things, I also feel disappointed when people don't get an item that they come for. So we always try to make sure that we have enough and encourage people to come and purchase.
So we'll put in the comments too their Facebook page and their Instagram and how to get in touch so that you all can follow their food cart and come out and try some yourself. And also, Spam is, I know that meat on the islands is very expensive.
Everything on the islands is very expensive, yes.
Food, yeah.
Everything has to be shipped in, and people forget that. They are in the middle of the Pacific, and there's no other way to get stuff to them but by boat. So things are very expensive, especially now. COVID started it with issues, and now just fuel prices rising. So things do get very expensive over there. And it's something that's always available. It doesn't spoil because it stays in a can. So it's kind of easier for people to keep. Costco's huge on the islands. It's something that we always do when we go to visit. You get off the airplane and you stop at Costco and you pick up your goods for your vacation and then head on over to your vacation rental. So, yeah. So now the Spam's getting close. Tim's flipping them over. We want them to be a little on the crispy side. But once he gets these flipped, then it'll just be another minute. And then we'll be taking them out and putting them in the bowl and putting the teriyaki sauce on them. Whoa. And now that we have the Spam all cooked, Tim just drizzles a little soy sauce over it, and then we just let it kind of sit and absorb that while we wait for the rice to finish cooking. And then we'll be assembling our musubi.
All right.
Talking about gatherings in Hawaii versus here in the continent, that it's very much very traditional food. So things that we would see here in the Midwest, a potato salad and meatballs and fried chicken. In Hawaii, there would be chicken long rice and musubi and kalua pork. And kalua pork is traditionally at a luau is something that is cooked in ground. It's called an imu, where they build a fire, put stones, lava rock, tea leaves, put the pig, more tea leaves, more lava rock, cover it all, and it sits in the ground for hours and hours and hours. But at a Hawaiian get-together, you're going to have a lau, which I was just describing, is you take taro leaves and you put chunks of pork and chunks of butterfish and you wrap it all up, traditionally in tea leaves then, and steam it. Can't get a hold of tea leaves here very easily, so you can wrap it in foil, but you steam it for 3 to 4 hours. And then you unwrap this beautiful package, and it's like greens, like southern greens, and the meats that are in it. And it's very delicious because it's cooked for so long in its own fats and juices. Lomi salmon, which just means cut, is salmon that's cut up with tomato and onions, some salt, and that's all cut into little bite-sized pieces. What else do we have? Just there's so many things. It's so hard to poi, which I've never been a fan of, but it is a staple in Hawaii. Poi is made from the taro root, and it is their starch. Where we have potatoes mostly in the continental United States. On the islands, it's taro root, and babies, it's their first food. My dad loved it, and I hated it growing up. I always told him it looked like mashed potatoes with gray crayons in it because that's kind of what it looked like. And people either eat it fresh or some people like it sour, which it starts to ferment. Either way, still not a fan. I am Hawaiian, but not a fan. But those are things that you would go to a family gathering, whether you're having a birthday, when a baby has their first birthday. It is a huge party in Hawaii in the culture. And graduations and weddings and all kinds of family gatherings and get-togethers. There's nothing we like more than to make food and to share it. And that's all about ohana, family, and sharing the love, the aloha, and feeding people, which is what I love to do. So that's why I'm here doing this.
Do you want to share a little bit about, you mentioned a conference for Native Hawaiians that you and
yes.
your daughter went to?
So my daughter and I, last October, it was in Seattle this year. Every other year they do a Native Hawaiian conference where they come together and share all kinds of news. I learned to make lei, and we had some good food. And just learning a lot about my culture, what I need to embrace more. And it's very interesting learning so much about Hawaii and its history. And unfortunately now we have just made that turning point where there are more Native Hawaiians living on the continental United States than on the islands because they simply can't afford it anymore. So many of them are unfortunately being pushed off of their own lands from very rich people that come in and buy up the land and then make it very unaffordable for the people who really deserve to live there because it is their land. So it's going to get emotional. So it's a hard one to think that they have to leave their home because it's too expensive for them to live in their own home.
Yeah. It's like gentrification everywhere.
Yeah.
It is
Which
really.
it is sad. So I do enjoy going to the conferences to keep better in touch with things and to help know, who you can reach out to, who you can touch. But there are a lot of ohana in the continental United States to share that love. A lot of people in Vegas, a lot of them in the Twin Cities. It's interesting that you would leave Hawaii to move to the Twin Cities, but my dad left Hawaii to move to Iowa. So it's, we think of it as paradise. We all want to go there, but kids always grow up wanting to leave where they're coming from to find new places. So that's how my dad ended up here in Iowa. Well, now we're in Wisconsin, but yeah. So we're turning out the rice. It's been cooking. After the timer goes off, we do let it steam for another 5 minutes to make sure everything is good and completely steamed. You don't want any crunchy bits of rice in there. And I have made up a little bit of sushi vinegar. So basically you can purchase sushi vinegar, but it's just rice vinegar with sugar and a little bit of salt in it for seasoning. And so I'm going to spread this out just a little bit. I'm going to pour it over the back of the spoon, and this just helps to better distribute so I don't get any one big blob. And then I'm just going to turn it over a few times to help get a little vinegar on all of it. And it's very hot. Did you spray? Oh, this moves. So just sprayed a little bit. This is a Musubi maker where it just makes the mold much easier to put it all together. So I'm going to start with inari. We've had it cut into strips. Some people cover the whole musubi with inari. I like to cut it into strips. Oh, there you go. So I'm going to just take a small handful, set it in, give that a little push. Then this is furikake. This is a rice seasoning. You can get lots of different flavors. This is my favorite. I'm just going to put a little sprinkle in the bottom. Take a slice of the cooked Spam, another handful of the rice. Press the mold again, and then wrap the inari around it. Now, if we were going to a party or just eating this at home with the family, we can just leave these on a plate. But we can't serve it like that on our food cart, so on to Assembly Tim, and he wraps that up. I'll do another one. So again, a little bit of the rice. Furikake. Spam. Now some people will also put like a piece of fried egg in there, so it's very breakfast-like. I've seen katsu chicken. You can whatever you want, but this is your basic straight up Spam musubi that you're going to find anywhere. You can eat it warm, you can eat it cold, you can eat it at room temperature, and then again just wrap and put it on the foil. Some people like to put the Spam on top. I find it just easier for us. I like to have the sandwiched with rice on both sides. Again, it's all visual and personal preference of what you like to have.
So your food cart, where do you pop up and when, and how can people find out?
Well, we are on Facebook and Instagram, and I will always say where we're going to be and what the menu is going to be, because I do change the menu frequently, and it never fails. Whatever item I take off is what someone is looking for that particular day. But I would be bored to tears if I served the same exact food every time we were out. So we do switch it up a bit, and that's why I ask people to visit our socials so they can see what is going to be offered that day. And we do a lot of local stuff. We go to the Delta Beer Lab. We're out at the Boneyard. We've just started going. Boneyard is a dog park tap house. We've just started going to the Fairway Lounge, which is in Fitchburg. So we do a lot of local stuff. We go and we don't just park on the corner somewhere. We're always at some kind of an event. We do like to frequent the tap houses and breweries. Yes, we'll be at the Garver Feed Mill. They have Food Cart Fridays. As Sarah mentioned, we have, during the winter when we're not on our cart, we are part of the Feed Kitchen Soups On program, so that we do offer lots of different soups through the winter, so that just kind of keeps me out of trouble by cooking soup. But yeah, you can find us listed on our socials of where we're going to be and what we're going to serve.
Well, thank you so much, Lani and Tim, and you all check out Aloha Wagon and
LT's Aloha Wagon. I'm only going to say that because there is an Aloha Wagon in Chicago, and we had someone come up to our cart one time wanting the fish tacos. I said, we've never served fish tacos. They said, well, it's on your menu. That isn't our menu. So we are LT's and Lani and Tim Aloha Wagon.
LT's
so we're in Madison.
Aloha Wagon. There we go. So I'll make sure to put that in the comments too, so you all can check it out. Well, thank you so much for just joining and for all you do in the community and for sharing your culture with Madison.
Thank you.
And just for joining us for this. And you all go out and get their food. It's really a treat. It's amazing food, and these are amazing people. So don't hesitate.
Yeah, mahalo nui.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.